Red Hot was started in 1989. It's a not-for-profit production company that raises money and awareness to fight AIDS around the world. In 20 years, we've produced 20 projects, a mix of films and concerts.
We were kind of around Red Hot and loved the records, and we also, grew up with records like No Alternative, and so we were aware of Red Hot as an organization.
Dark Was the Night kind of sprang from a conversation between John Carlin, the head of Red Hot, and Aaron Dessner, who is one of the twin brothers in the band The National.
I used to work for Red Hot for 5 years, and its sister company, Funny Garbage, which is a design company.
Aaron used to work for Funny Garbage. He's had a relationship with John Carlin, who's the founder, for some time.
I started talking to Aaron and Bryce about doing essentially an indie rock record that would have its roots in kind of traditional, worn-in American folk forms.
All the Red Hot projects are presented as this kind of musical collaboration. For musicians, that's the enticement. We believe in the cause wholeheartedly, but to be really honest, it's the music that entices us in there.
So these records were coming out, and I think I was equally as excited about the fact that I knew that the music that I was listening to was facilitating like people being aware of HIV and AIDS.
I'm not a doctor, I'm not a researcher, I'm not a fundraiser, but I'm a musician, and so we were able to put that energy into something.
Hi, I'm John Carlin. I started the Red Hot organization 20 years ago. I was an art critic in the East Village in New York, and the 80s was a terrible time. It was great art, but lots of people got sick before they knew what AIDS was, and I saw a lot of the most creative people in my generation get sick and die. And I was the lucky one. Not only did I survive, but I got to do something interesting and make people remember this terrible disease that affects people around the world, and at the same time make some great music. The thing about AIDS is it's a preventable disease, unlike heart disease or cancer. It's absolutely preventable. But it's very hard to get young people to understand what safe sex is.
Right now it seems like people aren't being as safe as they should be or might have been in the past when there was like more focus on it.
In the 80s, the AIDS issue was huge. It's still huge, the problem hasn't gone away. But it almost seems like with our generation, people are, the whole idea of being safe, for instance, has really kind of fallen by the wayside, but actually things are just as bad as they've always been. You might hear more about Darfur or other very pressing issues.
We said in the beginning that Red Hot's the kind of company that we'd like to go out of business. We'd like for HIV and AIDS not to be a problem, but every few years there's kids that have no idea, and then they get sexually active. So it's sort of this thing that may never go away.
AIDS is still very much, a big problem, especially in Africa. So I think doing this project and getting people back kind of motivated about it has been really good.